We're rolling.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Alpha Amplified podcast. I am your host. My name is Selva Garcia. I'm a student here at Rutgers University, Newark. I am a pre-business major and I have a minor in psychology. And I'm here to welcome the current e-board. Woo! Feel free to introduce yourselves.
Hi guys, my name is Sandra Ramirez. I'll be this year's president. I'm an incoming junior majoring in finance. Graduation day, May 2025. Nice to meet you.
Hi everyone, my name is Arlene Flores. I'm the current Executive Vice President for the ALPFA Rutgers Newark chapter. I'm a marketing major, expected to graduate in May 2024, and I'm a senior.
Hi guys, my name is Alexander Sanchez. I am a supply chain finance major here at Rutgers University. I'm this year's executive secretary, so nice to meet you all.
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Pavlovich and I am this year's treasurer. I'm a rising sophomore majoring in finance and I'm looking forward to diving deep into this podcast.
Yay, okay. So I guess the first question is, what got you guys into Alpha?
I guess I can start. It started back in freshman year. The first semester, I was really doing nothing much. I was very productive. I was very well in the gaming club, just using my time to just game. However, through that, I met some people that were involved in Alpha already. I got very involved with our 2 years ago president, Nicole Salas, and Emily Pina, which is our last year's president. They talked to me about program for Road to Wall Street, because I was very interested in that at first. They guided me through the process. And through that, they showed me about Alpha and how much Alpha can help you do the same thing, but professionally. So I followed up with them. I was very involved in the events committee. And right after I interviewed to prepare the e-board for the secretary position. However, I didn't win that. Gustavo Morales, you won that for me. And instead, the last e-board saw some potential in me, and they gave me the role of VP of events, even when I didn't apply for that. I'm very grateful for that, because through that, I was able to meet my committee and lead it throughout the year and just grow as a person, which then led me to be part of the president role, and we're starting this year.
Yeah. So I had a very similar experience to Alex. Freshman year, I was like in the COVID pandemic, so I was like at home doing nothing. And when school opened up again in sophomore year, I was like, oh wow, I'm really behind, because people were talking about internships and I had no idea what that was, and like LinkedIn, and I was like, So I really decided to get involved. So I went to the RBS showcase, and there I met Alpha. I feel like the name really called to me because I've never seen an organization that had like Latino professionals. I come from a predominantly white school, and so I was never really in tune with my culture and being Latina. And so having a whole organization dedicated to like Latino professionals and bettering themselves was like really something that I was motivated for. So I applied to the marketing committee there. I, at the end of the year, decided to do vice president of marketing, and now I'm the executive vice president. So yeah, I'm super excited.
From my experience, I think I happened to land there by fate. Per se, I was actually coming from community college, so I had a say in what I was going to do. Most importantly, I was looking for a community and getting involved. So when the club showcase came at Rutgers, PRCC, that happens in September. So I recommend anyone that's going to transfer students or anyone who's looking to get involved to attend this. I only had 10 minutes, so I met a couple of people like in my first 2 days. We all went and like we signed up for something. I literally happened to sign up for Alpha. Unlike Arlene's experience, it really didn't catch my name. It was just another name, but my friends were there. Like my 2-day friends were just going there and like, you know, we're in it. We went to a general body meeting, which is like a normal meeting in general, and basically they were mentioned about some committees, and we all kind of like, you know, I guess you would say group think. We all just got in the same boat and went with it, and that's how I got involved. And particularly, I guess it happened to be through another member known as Anthony. So he's an alumni senior. So shout out to Anthony for that as well. And that was a little bit more about my experience. So with that being said, Joseph, how was yours?
My experience was definitely different than everyone's. About a year ago, I was an incoming freshman and I was a part of the EOF program. And one of the biggest things they vouched for was networking. I had no idea what networking was. In high school, I joined absolutely 0 organizations. I didn't have any clubs, nothing. And I really quickly took what EOF said to the heart and started researching different organizations I could join on campus. Alpha being one of the first ones I stumbled upon. You know, I attended my first online virtual session, not even having, I guess, a Rutgers, I wasn't even a Rutgers student at the time. And it was an amazing time where I quickly realized that this was a community where I felt that I belonged in. Everyone was super cool. I was able to network with everyone on a professional and also building relationships as friends. And yeah, that's how I joined Alpha.
Okay, so I guess following up with like Alpha itself, what is your favorite memory of Alpha?
I'll go with this one. I think my favorite memory for Alpha has to be Well, so Alpha goes beyond what Rutgers is in the community. Alpha is a lot more. You'll find it as you get involved. That it's in all the chapters within the nation. So I found an opportunity through Alpha with a censure and a case competition. So my experience and best memory with Alpha has to be a personal one, where I proved to myself that I'm capable of achieving more. So I'll take you back to last spring semester of 2023, where I was in a slalom case competition where I actually never heard of what consulting was, and just went with it. Wow, I didn't win that whole experience, and it actually made me uncomfortable because I had no idea what I was doing, as long as with my team as well. So we kind of like an hour before our presentation, we're still very nervous. We were afraid that we were gonna make ourselves look very unprofessional, and nevertheless, we still kind of encourage ourselves, and I think that's what Alpha teaches you as well. So when I went to Accenture with the New York City company in One Manhattan West, I had another shot at this, and I ended up winning at nationals in New York region. So I remember when thank you. So I remember when I received the news that I had won, like it just felt exceptional. Like for me, I actually got I got watery eyes. I remember getting the news, and it felt so relief. It's like I felt like I was Michael Jordan winning a championship or something. And I felt like this was everything that was leading up to my fall and spring semester, going from community college to a 4-year institution. It just kind of felt like it peaked, and it's gonna peak more because I know that I'm pushing myself there. So honestly, I reach out, like if you have any interest in like transfer students or anybody in general or case competitions, just prove to yourself. That's all I really recommend, and I encourage you guys to do that as well. So that's my favorite memory of Alpha.
My favorite memory has to be the banquet. And I say this not only because I won an award, which is Rising Star, but also because I was able to see everyone who I started the journey with. I say this because from the first people I spoken to when entering this organization to rising seniors who were about to graduate, it was an amazing experience, and also perhaps a little bit of emotions, because it was like this is the last time we'll see each other. And it was a very rewarding experience, seeing the growth that not only Alpha but myself has encountered throughout that year. It was a very nice experience.
My favorite memory is an event that I got to host last year with my committee. So for those that don't know, Selva and Alex were part of my committee last year, part of the events committee. So my favorite event was something called Baila con Alpha. So it was a salsa night / cumbia / merengue / bachata night, where we had two instructors, Selva being one of them, my director, Christian Arias, shout out to you too. He was another instructor, and they both taught like all levels of dancing, and it was a nice moment for everybody to de-stress as finals were coming up. It was a great way to show that Alpha is both social and a professional club, so I really did like that part of that. And also my second memory follow-up to that in the same category is that also the Alpha Banquet. A year ago, on the previous Alpha Banquet, I was given a role of VP of events, and I did not know my director Chris by then. When we met though, the first thing that we both agreed upon was that we wanted to have the Committee of the Year award a year later. And throughout the year, we had that mindset on, we recruited our teammates, so Selva, Alex being one of them, some of them. And throughout the year, we worked hard for it, and at last year's banquet, we did win that award, so I thought it was a nice way to end the whole thing in a nice way. So those are my two favorite memories.
Okay, I can go. My favorite memory is probably last year at the Alpha National Convention in Orlando, Florida. It was like one of the first times that I've been like out of the state by myself and like going with everyone that I wasn't really familiar with yet. It was truly the first time I felt like an alpha media. Like I feel like it's so cliche and being like, oh, they're just a club. Like it's just an organization. Like no, like being there and like at like 12 a.m. resume reviewing with like basically strangers is like it's so heartwarming because everyone's going for like the same thing of like going and getting an internship for the first time, like going representing your family or whatever you're going for or whatever is motivating you, and it's just being in a safe environment. It was like so heartwarming, and I'm so excited to go again this Saturday for Texas.
Woo! Okay, so besides Alpha, outside of Alpha, do you guys do anything for fun? Like, what do you guys do for fun?
Oh. So, you guys don't mind if I take it, right?
No.
Okay. So what I do for fun, right? Well, essentially, No, yeah, like I guess what I do for fun is always I consider myself social, but I don't know if you guys resonate with this. Perhaps you might feel like you're social or at the same time shy. I perceived myself for so long I was this shy, timid person. Nevertheless, I feel like most of my interactions and how I spend my time and happiness and I actually have fun is through meeting people and basically expressing myself and getting to learn themselves. So when we go out, either to eat, because New Jersey, there's like a couple of things in the winter. There's not much to do besides bowling, movies, or just eating, right? I mean, I love food, so I think that's what I do. Obviously, I work out. I try to sorry about that. I try to incorporate a little bit about health. I mean, it's just a work in progress, and that's basically what I do. But most of the time, I like to get involved on campus because it's basically who I am. I just need to create that social butterfly, being able to meet, and I think that's what life is all about. We need to build these bonds and relationships, and at the same time, while I could be playing video games, I prefer doing the other. So yes.
Wow, I used to be playing video games all the time. That hit a little bit.
I still play. I still play.
I was gonna say I resonate with what Alex was saying. So yeah, I consider myself an ambivert. So depending on the situation, I can be an introvert or completely an extrovert. So I've been trying to figure that out. And I guess the alpha is the one that helped me grow out of that and just try to be true to myself in any situation. So I do on my free time play video games.
I mean, I do too.
I do love to play video games. I also, in high school, I used to play basketball, so I'm trying to go back into it. As well as recently started working out again, so I guess those are things I do on the outside of the school, and also reading books. But I don't like reading the finance books just because, as I do, those I do at school already, and current events, I mostly do like either science fiction books that take me out of my reality. So I think that's the things I do mostly outside of school.
I feel less motivated than you guys. I feel like what I do for fun, I just like sleeping. I like being in bed.
Same.
Having fun nowadays is so different than when I was like younger, because like I would just call my neighbor or something and be like, let's go bike riding, and that's like so much work now. I'm like, no, I'd rather just be in bed doing nothing. That's like my favorite fun thing to do. But I feel like when I get stressed or like whenever there's a lot of things going on, things that I do for fun or to like relieve stress would be like running. I like to go on like a low run. Walking my dogs, hanging out with my dogs. So yeah, that's what I do for fun.
So besides Alpha, some things I really like doing are mountain biking, and I also volunteer my time at a nonprofit. And these are just two of the things that keep me busy outside of Alpha school. What really, I guess, fulfill me? I say mountain biking because, I don't know, I'm very passionate about bikes. Like, I like riding my bicycle. It's kind of weird, but little fun fact, I actually brought it from Colombia. So, like, I took it with me on the plane.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was
What
crazy.
trails do you usually go on?
So, Mountain Creek?
Yeah.
That was my favorite one.
Literally?
And there's this place behind Walmart. I don't know if anyone here is like Union County area in Kenilworth. There's a really nice little trail where I can go on.
I think I know. Yeah.
And I do also volunteer my time at a nonprofit church. And this is a really like a weekly thing, so that's what really fulfills me out of Alpha and school.
What did you guys do this summer?
I can go first. This summer I was in New York City. I was living there because I have an internship at Paramount. I was on the specialty retail development team, which essentially is like retail sales. So it was really exciting. I was living in an NYU dorm in Union Square through a fellowship program called IRTS. So shout out IRTS. I was living there with 40 other fellows. It was an amazing experience. I've never lived in New York City before, especially for free. So it was like super exciting. So yeah, that's what I was doing this summer.
This summer I was working at Prudential Financial, which is right here next to Rutgers. I got the opportunity actually last year's convention, and this summer I worked in the internal audit team, more on the Brazil side or international side, which I really enjoyed. I learned some words like bom dia in Portuguese, so I found it pretty interesting to learn it and see a different culture, as well as the culture within the company. Like everybody there was super like involved me and everything. They were welcoming. They encouraged questions. So I really did like that opportunity this summer.
Nice, Alex, and nice, Arlene. So for me, honestly, I would sum it up: eat, sleep, and work. I can't complain about that. Like, I really felt that's what made my summer unique. I've always wanted to have some sense of control and a routine. And like I said, like I told my peers, it's been a good summer. I've made sure I hit all my goals in terms of working out, losing weight, eating better, and learning how to cook. So I'm chuffing it up. And while it might seem boring, I haven't gone to the beach. I did go to Longwood. It's a little, I would say it's an arboretum in Pennsylvania. I really recommend you going out there. So I think that's the best thing I've done so far. And I can't complain. Honestly, that's what I've done. I really did. I had a solo summer basically where I was just getting comfortable with being by myself. And for some reason, I found peace in that. So I think I really recommend it, and that's my summer.
All right, so my summer was a little more laid back compared to theirs. So first things first, I went to this company in Colorado called Richie May. It was this accounting firm. They invited me out, and I went to go visit. I went to Colombia for about a month for vacation. Then I came back.
Yes.
A day after, I went to Orlando with RSM. So I was at Disney World for about a week. We were going over what RSM was, their different consulting practices. It was a very fun experience. Summer's not over yet, so we still have convention. We have convention next week, and I do have one last trip to DR. And then back to school.
Okay. Wow.
Then back to school.
Yeah. So where are you guys from? Since we're talking about that.
I think I can start it off. So. I was born in Colombia, Barranquilla. I moved to the United States when I was 5 years old. My whole family migrated. We were the first ones who came here, and slowly we're trying to get everyone over here. So, yeah, that's about it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Born in Colombia.
Well, I'm actually not too far from here. I was born here in Orange, so if you guys are clear to Newark, I'm actually from Orange, but I have a background as a Mexican, so I'm Mexican-American. My two parents were born in Mexico. They migrated like most people here. And essentially, I think I'm very proud of my heritage. I would say that I have a good combination of both the American culture as well as the Mexican one. So finding that balance and navigating that Mexican-American culture shock is very real. And I think I found somewhat of a ground level to that. So that's where I'm from. And yeah, if you guys are curious about the Mexican culture, I'm more than likely to be here and tell you all about it.
I love the Mexican culture, man.
So I actually was born and raised in El Salvador. I was down until I was 15-ish. I moved here around 5 years ago. I saw my year in high school, so it was a little bit of a change. I had to come to the U.S. to visit, but it's different to visit than to live here. Simple example, I learned English in El Salvador, so I was always bilingual. But I knew like the book English, if that makes sense. Like I knew how to say things properly in a sense.
Oh yeah.
When I got here to
That's
high
real.
school,
It's true.
it was so different. Like I learned like slang English. So at first I limited myself to just smile and wave to people. Like, they would say something like, simple example. People said I'm down. I was like, what does that mean? You're down where? Like I don't actually know what that means.
Wait, that's so funny.
There's just something called Urban Dictionary. If you guys have it, it's a Google thing. If you look it up, that's where I use all my little like acronyms and everything. Like BRB, what does that mean? Like, so it was a little bit of a struggle getting to know that, but it took some time. I was in the basketball team in my school, so I was also learning through them how to use like normal English. So, yeah. But it's been 5 years. Yeah, I go back to Salvador anytime I can. My parents are there. So I'm here with my aunt and my cousins, so it's a different experience, but I like it so far.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm similar to Alex. I was born in Wayne, New Jersey. The hospital does not exist anymore, unfortunately.
The hospital does not exist anymore.
Close down.
But
How does a hospital close down?
I mean, it was like,
we were born and they were like,
yeah. No, like literally, at next year, gone. Closed.
Yeah, so I was born in Wayne, New Jersey. My parents, though, immigrated here from Ecuador, Guayaquil, more specifically. So they immigrated here around like almost 30 years ago. So yeah, I'm a first generation Ecuadorian American. That's a little bit about me.
All right, so I think we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming. We're very excited to keep on filming and doing podcasts for you guys, and stay tuned for more.
Bye.